I'll check that and we'll get ready to go on this podcast tonight. Setting that baby up. All right. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Well, let's see if we could get on air in there. Nice. All right. So we got that. I'm going to check the audio and then set up the thing and we'll get ready to go. Hey, Sanford Johnson. Good to see you. All right. Check YouTube. Here we are. It's live. Hit that baby. Make sure there's sound. Check YouTube. Yep, there is sound. That's a pretty good view. If I'm looking, all right. Live. Hit that baby. Make sure there's sound. All right, there is. And now I'm going to do a comment. Welcome to our podcast. Let us know where you're from and what you're drinking tonight. We monitor comments that are relevant. Cheers. I should say that because a lot of people on YouTube, I don't know what it is, but there's a lot of immature comments a lot of times. And so when they make the immature comment, we haven't seen Tater Dom for a while. Usually he's on, but he hasn't been. So I got that all set up. We're ready to go. I think so let me do the quick sponsorship. Let's start out with Rosewood Bourbons and Ryes. Jason Giles is making some great stuff down in Texas. He basically has been distilling and aging, but also he purchases barrels from Indiana and Kentucky. He drives it the 900 so miles down to Texas while the barrels are sloshing around and then lets it age for at least one of the hot seasons down in Texas. Fantastic bourbons and ryes that he releases. The Kentuckian, he calls it, is one of my favorites. So if you see Rosewood Bourbon and Ryes, make sure you check out, check it, grab it off the shelf. Fantastic whiskey and bourbon and rye. So then also we have Alan Bishop, our sponsor. He is the master distiller right now at Old Homestead Distilling Company in Patoka Lake, Indiana. Make sure that you check that out, but also check him out because he has some great content online, starting with If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything, a great podcast taking the fun of both the spirits industry and the spirit realm and combining them together into one of the better podcasts online. But also he also has his One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute on YouTube. You got to check that out if you're interested in distilling. If you're a home distiller, if you're a commercial distiller, you can ask him anything and he'll answer the questions based off of his large, vast knowledge of distilling. Then we've got Whiskey Thief. We've got this one coming up. This is Mayday Rye. Walter Zausch, the owner there, they just released these 146 proof ryes at the distillery. Fantastic whiskey. You won't be disappointed. And you got to check out their new tasting room in Louisville in the Nulu area. It is the exact same thing as their distillery, except there's no farm and no still. But the tasting room has a full bar. It also has a 5 barrels to choose from, just like the farm does, and it's a barrel pick all day, every day. You get, for the price of admission, you get to taste from 5 different barrels, and if whatever one you like, or if you like 2, you get to fill Whiskey Thief your own bottle. So fantastic, really cool, awesome place to visit. And then also make sure you check out their main distillery in Frankfort, Kentucky. It's about 15 minutes from Buffalo Trace, and it's not a stop you want to miss. They've got a food truck, they've got cornhole and fire pits out there. They've got live music on the weekends, and then it's the same thing. Price of the mission. They give you a tour. They show you their rick house. They could show you their still and their pot still and everything and all the process they make. But in the end, there's going to be 5 barrels to choose from, and you get to bottle your own. A barrel pick every day. Whiskey Thief is like the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, uncut, unfiltered. We also have Middle West Spirits in Columbus, Ohio. They just finished their massive distillery there. It is a major Kentucky distillery experience that's going to be coming online soon. What they're doing there, but they right now have their original craft distillery that was opened in 2012 and has been running 24/7. Also, they are making a lot of Ohio respecting grain Ohio terroir bourbons and whiskeys. Fantastic. Their Michelob brand is spectacular. Right now, they are in 48 states across the United States, and they are on the shelf right now. You will get this wheat whiskey, the straight wheat whiskey, cast strength, and then they have their pumpernickel rye cast strength, and then they have their wheated bourbon 4 grain cast strength. You don't want to miss it. If you see Middle West Spirits, all 3 are excellent. You know I'm not a rye guy, but that pumpernickel rye cast strength is fantastic. Then we have the Spirits of French Lick in French Lick, Indiana. You definitely want to check them out. They basically is the ex distillery for Alan Bishop, but all their whiskeys and bourbons are still there. All of his whiskeys and bourbons are still there. The right now, the sought after Lillian Sinclair. He didn't make a lot. It was his passion project. And then also they have the William Dalton wheated bourbon, and also they've got the Sullivan Scott. And when you go there, the Charles Ballard's there, everything's there. I just visited, and the gift shop is open. It's still open for tours. You could take a look, but all that whiskey, Allen's whiskey, is still there, and they are going to be releasing it. So it's still, for any fan of bourbon, a must see destination. This is one of the places where you can get the special bottles. They got a lot of stuff that Allen hadn't even released that's going to be released as it's throughout this next season. So check out the Spirit of French Lick in French Lick, Indiana. All right, everybody, let's get this podcast rolling. Now, CT was saying, which I'm going to try and do as we go forward. He wants me to stream the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, the actual Facebook streaming thing. But I'd have to get that down, do a couple dry runs, and make sure it works before that happens. Right now, I am sipping on this Old Forester 117 series. This is the Angel's Share. And honestly, the Angel's Share is one of my favorite. I tasted this, I've went through, and I'm on my second 375, and it's spectacular. Something that's a go-to. So Old Forester 117 series have been really good. All right, so let's get this going. There's going to be about a 45-second pause, and then you're going to hear the theme song, and we'll get right into this. We will be talking about whiskey groups and clubs. What is all right?
Drinking 30, sipping on some scotch. We get a little wild, it's sure fun to watch. We love what we do, we're drinking every brew. And we talk some shit, but we're telling the truth. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Raisins in hell, making some noise. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We're here to have fun, and we hope you enjoy. We're here to have fun.
All right. Welcome back to another podcast of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Tiny here tonight, here for all your bourbon and whiskey needs. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the group, society, and clubs throughout the United States and then also throughout the world. The popularity, we're gonna get into it a little bit about what it's meant to the whiskey, what I would say the whiskey. We got to come up with a name for what this is. The whiskey jetpack or whatever. Whiskey has become so popular across, especially the bourbon boom. It's been spectacular. So the groups, the societies, and the clubs, I really feel with the advent of the internet, have really been uh, why this has been such a cool thing. I mean, it even explains some of the big things that have been happening in India, Australia, all the different places and whatnot. But remember, we're www.scotchybourbonboys.com for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Also, as far as that goes, we've got our great t-shirts for sale if you're interested in that. And then also our Scotchy Bourbon Boys, Glen Cairns, and there's also our Crystal Glen Cairn Club, which I'm going to be ordering some of those to do that again. But no matter what you want to do is you want to listen or watch however you do it, with whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or X, or on Apple, iHeart, Spotify, on the anywhere there's an audio podcast, we're on it. And no matter what way you're listening, and no matter what way you're watching, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, leave good feedback. Listen, like, comment, subscribe, and leave good feedback. We really appreciate everything. Right now on YouTube, Google anybody going there. You can go. You search the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Give us a 5-star rating. That would be great to get a 5-star rating. Everybody who's out there. There's also an Apple 5-star rating. Leave a comment. Leave what you like about with the podcast. It helps out. It's helps out immensely. But tonight we're going to talk about the groups, and then also I've got a special barrel bottle breakdown with the old Louisville barrel bottle breakdown tonight, courtesy of Walker Cyrus. We are going to be breaking down the Russell's Reserve 15. Oh, yes, I did it. It's like John Rips is sipping on a Russell's Reserve private barrel selection 8-year. But I'm gonna be breaking down this 15 years Russell Reserve. I just wanted to do it. It's something to do. Now, real quick note: tomorrow night at the I don't know why. I can't remember. I should have had it all up and everything, and I don't. But I think I actually can check it out on here. Let's just see. 919. Okay, here we go. We got that, but that's on the let's see about this. It should be right there. Yes. Tomorrow night, the Steel Valley Bourbon Association is doing a special tasting of their Smoke Wagon. And for charity, the charity is one time for the kids. So we're going to be raising money for that. There's 50 seats, $55 each. We're pretty close to full, but I think there's a few tickets left. It's 6 p.m. at the Blue Wolf Tavern. Uh, if you're in that area, you want to check it out. And that is interesting. What just happened? That should have been right there. Okay, yeah, if you're in that area, check it out and come by and see me. So it should be fun. All right. Yeah, we're just tasting, and it should just be a good thing for to get to taste some barrel picks up there and have some food and do it for a good cause. So that's Frank Carbon of the uh, Steel Valley Bourbon Association. If you want to, you can contact him to find out about tickets, or I am pretty sure you're not going to be turned away at the door if you show up. All right, there we go. We got that under control. So, yep, I sure as the sunrise and sets, besides, I need to reduce inventory. All right, here we go. Bourbon groups. We're going to go back to that same thing. Bourbon groups. I have a thought on bourbon groups before we actually start. When you think about it, bourbon groups, what have they meant? When I first got into this and formed the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. So the Scotchy Bourbon Boys is a group. We podcast. Okay, so you like Guinness? Someone asked me. Cocktail for a Russian lady? Yeah, Katie, I can make many cocktails. Uh, and but getting back to groups and where they were initially, and what Facebook, in my opinion, and other social media platforms have done is allowed people from across the country and the world to form groups. This our group is centered around the podcast. We do meet from time to time locally, and we get together in different places. So the main part of the podcast group is a select few of fans, along with the 4 or 5 of us who travel around to different distilleries. So at any given time, let's just say Walker has been with us, Randy has been with us, Jamie has. We've done stuff. I've actually stopped off on my way back from Wisconsin and saw John in Chicago. So and Leland Wright, who's part of our group on tonight, he is in Columbus, but we've never ever got together. But we're working on some events so we all can get together from time to time and talk about whiskey and our passion, a love, and then also talk about how to make the podcast better and that type of thing. So we've got the Scotchy Bourbon Boys group. There's a Facebook page, the Scotchy Bourbon Boys group, my personal page, all linked to the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. And then there's the podcast also that we do. Now, in 2019, when I first started, there were groups, but there weren't nowhere near as many as there are now. When the ones that I belong to, um, the ones I belong to the most, I just every single week I can go on and be a part of more and more and more and more and more and more groups. There are groups associated with different bourbons. For instance, Buffalo Trace. There's a group for what does Buffalo Trace have today. So there's some strictly online groups, and then there are groups that are local that you can find. For instance, the Greater Cincinnati Whiskey Association. So you got and so that one is for Cincinnati and the Kentucky. It has Cincinnati and Kentucky members. There's the Central Ohio Bourbon the Central Ohio Bourbon Association. There's the Wisco Bourbon Co. Wisco. There's Wisconsin Bourbon Club, and so the now some of the clubs exist and they get together and have meetings and they do barrel picks and that type of thing. Then some of the clubs get togethers, do tastings. Now, there are, societies, whiskey societies. Now, that is something that's been around for a long time, the whiskey society. Um, so I've been asked to talk at different bourbon clubs. So throughout the state, I go there. We do usually do a live podcast, uh, or a Facebook live checking in from the places that we are. Like if we're with the club and they're doing some sort of tasting, we've been with Northeast Bourbon Association, Northeast Ohio Bourbon Association, and then we were also Central Ohio Bourbon. And then, I mean, so I've got to meet a lot of the admins and that type of things, and we go around to the different clubs. But the different clubs also, when they have these groups and they have these meetings, they some have monthly meetings, and when they have the monthly meetings, they get the distributors or the people from the distilleries to come up and talk. For instance, CT just was with a group that brought Bernie Lubbers up. A lot of times the groups bring the featured people up and they do a charity type thing. So like I'm going to be at for charity. I'm going to be at the Steel Valley Bourbon Association, the Steel Valley Bourbon Association up in Youngstown, for that. So a lot of the groups do try and do a lot of good. They raise money for charities, and then they also get together, taste different bourbons, talk about it, and then a lot of groups will do barrel picks through. They do the barrel picks through the state, and then the members have first access at those barrel picks. So a lot of groups, CT belongs to a group that does massive amount of barrel picks. We've done barrel picks also. We've done it with Elijah Craig. We've done barrel pick with Knob Creek. And so, we've had different, so we've had different picks. They've been highly successful. It's very difficult to do because of the process, to do them, but that's a big part of forming groups. Now, I have then there's the elite clubs and groups. For instance, the Scotchy Bourbon Boys has the Crystal Glencairn Club. The Crystal Glencairn Club is offered. Um, it's been offered 2 memberships a year, and right now we have 4 people who have bought the memberships. It comes with barrel picks, a Crystal Glencairn, t-shirts, a regular Glencairn, that type of thing. And it also has the Crystal Glencairn. If you're a really good friend of the podcast, that's been on, for instance, Stacy Pritchard, who's on tonight, she has one. Then there's also Greg Schneider has one. So if you've been on the podcast many times, there's a lot of there's a good chance that you've got, and you're a friend, that you've got one of these Scotchy Bourbon Boys, Crystal Glencairn, right here. Ryan Lang, I gave him, he's part of it, owner of Middle West Spirits, but he gave me his Middle West Spirits Crystal Glen to promote his brand. So this club is exquisite. Once a year, I get together with the club. I've been trying to do it, but now that we've got, I believe, 5 people in it, plus anybody who's got a Glen that's received it as a friend, and I'm gonna try and do a tasting at my house, try and get everybody to come down, see if I can get a bunch of people to come and do it, and we'll do some exquisite tastings. So that's the key to this Crystal Glencairn Club. You've got the Crystal Glencairn, you've gotten the barrel picks. That's really kind of cool. But then you're part of a club that you've joined, and it's now you're every year you can come to one of the events. Now, another club, the Old Carter Social Club. Now, the Old Carter Social Club is with Old Carter. You pay a membership fee. It's very, very elite. And then you get to offered special bottles throughout the years for purchase. You don't have to buy the bottles, but everybody has lockers. They can put them in, they can come pick them up. But if they purchase one, they pay for it. It gets put in their locker. Pick it up whenever you want to. When you're at the social club, you can go from, drink from the locker, sip from the locker. So that's a really cool thing. Now, there's also the Distillers Club here in Canton, Ohio, and there's a lot of them not in Canton, but in here. Gervasi Spirits has just done the Distillers Club. It's $300 to join, and it's 4 events throughout the year. And this year we picked the mash bill. This next June 6th meeting on Friday, June 6th, we are going to cook and the mash bill and then get it fermenting. And then the next one will be distilling, and then the final one will be bottling. And you get to do that with the distiller at Gervasi on their hybrid pot still, column still. And Shay Pridemore did it. You got a bottle, one of their barrel picks for joining. You got a specific tasting glass and a T-shirt. So those are the kind of things that clubs have. And there's so many different places. So Caroline Gosh says the club she hosts is a tasting group. They have 2 to 3 events a month. Cost is 25 to 35 for 4 to 6, 3 to 4. We have distribution and distillery reps as guests. We also have events that are themed with decoration, games, and prizes. I mean, 3 to 4 a month, 2 to 3 events a month. That's crazy the way time goes, Carolyn. That is nuts. But anyways, sounds great. It sounds like I need to get up by you. Carolyn's group is up north of us. So sounds like a lot of fun. My thing is if I go someplace like going to Youngstown, I always have to basically people want you to try and taste a lot, because we taste so much on the podcast. You get offered a lot of stuff to taste, and you really got to watch it, especially like on tomorrow night with the tasting, and then I got to drive 50 minutes home. So those are a lot of things. I don't like to have very much the way under the legal limit of alcohol in my system when I leave. So those are the kind of things that you got to do when you do this. You're leading a tasting. You might be leading the tasting, but you're not doing a lot of tasting. You're kind of doing tongue dipping. So that's kind of cool. But the Facebooks, we covered the Facebook groups. I mean, Facebook groups are great because you can be a part of the group. You get all the updates, especially here. I love our group. We're over 2,000. I can't believe it. It's 2,000 vetted people. We don't just let anybody in there. We try and keep out the scammers. And that's one of the things. If you do belong to a group on Facebook, you have to watch out people who spam the site, telling you either to go to another group or to buy this. This is a great place to go to buy your whiskey, because when they're spamming like that, that is usually scamming. Spamming equals scamming. So anybody out there, if you belong to a group and somebody's in there trying to sell, in the Scotchy Bourbon Boys group, it's spectacularly straight up. It says no selling when they agree to be in the group. Do you agree to no selling? And then on the bottom, they have to. It's reiterated. That's 2 of my rules. You cannot sell in the group. People try. If they're in, they're kicked out immediately. So that's one thing that we want to do. We don't want anybody scammed in our group, so we try real hard for that. But the 2,000 people in the group are we look at each one and see who's inviting people, that type of thing. So that part of the group is kind of cool. But to have 2,000 people from around the world, initially when we started this, the podcast, and you've got the original, I think it's 13, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 states where people joined the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Since then, we are in all 50 states, plus we are in over 135 countries that people listen to the podcast. So very, very exciting. Now, Tim Dance says he's the member. He's based on the meeting formats. Yes, you can lean. It's great that when you bring in people, for instance, we've done tastings at the Barrel Room with Penelope. We've done tastings uh, with Chicken Cock with Greg Schneider. We brought them in. We haven't done that lately because of the fact that the podcast has been pretty intense. Plus, we're just getting into the tasting season. But I'm thinking if we do this Scotchy Bourbon Boys Crystal Glen Karen Club, when we do that, what's going to happen there is um, what's going to happen there is we're going to be able to bring some people in that are in it that will be able to answer questions, your questions about distilling. It'll be, I believe that it will be an educational night and a very fun night. And the way to get in is to have one of these Crystal Glen Karens. Anybody who has one will be allowed to be in if they have one, and they'll be invited. So I'm thinking sometime in July. We've got a lot of busy stuff going on. Now, one of the other things that I wanted to talk about is it's not just um United States that does this, okay? So groups, all right. Let's see. I'm going to hit that one. Okay, let's do that one. All right. In India, several organizations and clubs cater to whiskey enthusiasts, including bourbon aficionados. Two notable examples are the Dram Club and the Single Malt Amateur Club. The Dram Club is based in Muabi, aims to make whiskey accessible and enjoyable for all, offering events, master classes, and even a delivery service for single malts and whiskeys. They also have an app with city-wide price lists and personalized recommendations. Now, the Single Malt Amateur Club, based in Bangalore, SMAC, is a long that's SMAC is a long-time standing club for single malt enthusiasts, offering a community for sharing experiences and knowledge. One of the mentions on Man's World India said that they are the most active association of single malt lovers in India and have been featured in Whiskey Advocate's top whiskey clubs. They also conduct an annual poll to rank the best Indian single malts. So Whiskey Advocate, while not a club, Whiskey Advocate is a prominent resource for whiskey enthusiasts, including those in India, with articles and rankings of both Indian and international whiskeys. So it's really kind of cool, um, the clubs, and it's fun because the Dram Club, I believe, is not only its own club. Yep, you just hit it and you can be part of it. It talks about all the different whiskey experiences, and whiskey in India is huge. So I like to usually think a lot less international when it comes to clubs and societies. Now, the societies, there's a lot of them in Kentucky because that's the when it comes to bourbon society, that um so Walker's trying to tell me, let's see, the jam platforms do whiskey. No, whiskey. Did I say service and malts? Let's see. I went there. Exclusive, immersive, together experiences. India's most vibrant and whiskey compu Yeah, don't I'm not the greatest when it comes to to having Middle Eastern or Eastern language. I barely am able to even speak English, let alone come up with all the different. So let's see. There's just so many different ones out there. It's kind of cool. I mean, honestly, the different strong whiskey is the best. Merrick is like he likes Jack Daniels, and it's Peace Man. He likes obviously he likes whiskey weed also along with good whiskey, which is kind of a cool thing if that's what tricks your trigger. Then we also have the Scalt the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society. I mean, you're talking about Scotland. Whiskey Advocate really is a driver of all the different great large clubs going on. You've got that going on there, and then here I believe bourbon groups. So yeah, first thing. All right. So one of them are here in just little Canton, Ohio. There's the Canton Bourbon Boys. There's the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. So and then Cleveland Bourbon Club, the Bourbon Outfitters, Facebook group, Bourbon Lovers, private group. Let's see. So there's many groups in Ohio. We have so many different ones. Okay. All right. That's because let's go back to Safari. We have Northeast Ohio, Central Ohio, all the different clubs throughout, and they do a really good job up here. And one of the things that if you're not in a club, you really should get into a club. Like Walker, when you go out to Arizona, you should be right away getting into a bourbon or whiskey club out there. It's a great way to meet people. Bourbon people, from what everything why I love the clubs and I love whiskey is because whiskey and bourbon people are usually down to earth, super awesome people. I find that I've had I've been in a lot of different, uh, uh, what would you say, social groups of like as a fine artist, I joined a lot of art groups. I did a lot of gallery type stuff. I also was part of the first Friday here for about 25 it would be 2 years. I was part of the first Friday every first Friday of the month, displaying my artwork and getting to know the people in the art community. And the art community, once again, my friends were my friends, good people, but there was also a lot of politics, a lot of um, gate opening type stuff, that you had to know the right people to get through the right gates, to be able to do it. But when it came to the bourbon industry, the doors are open. The people are fantastic. You spend time with them. You spend quality time either in their establishments or even in their houses. One of the things that the Frankfurt Bourbon Club meets, and I've met great people there. Uh, they offer out when I come down to stay at their houses. You're not always taking up people on it, but the offers there. It's kind of cool. Now, there are some bourbon clubs that actually have brick and mortar, and that's really kind of a cool thing too. We've got two of them here in Canton. I'm trying to, I've got grandkids and kids and whatnot, so I try and do as much as I can here in Ohio with the podcast. We got someone from Brazil. We've got people from, let's see where Merrick was from. Can I see that? John Edwards is on. That's cool. We got someone, like I said, Robson from Brazil. Kind of cool. Um, Welcome to the podcast. So the groups are really what what would you say? The groups that are there in the podcasts and the podcast groups, for instance, Cleveland on the Rocks, it's got its own group. The people there, whatever, up in Cleveland with Matt, and we've combined our people. So when we meet and get together, we've had tastings, we've been up there, had events. So it's really kind of a way to get to know people that have the love of bourbon and whiskey, and they know how they're responsible. You have a good time, things don't get out of hand. You just really have it's just a really good what would you say, social friendship group. I mean, it's just it's the definition of living life good. It's entertaining. You have good times. Our so the Scotchy Bourbon Boys this past, we have our annual bus tour, we have our Christmas party, and then we also had a tasting in last year, and we'll probably have the Crystal Glencairn Club this year and another bourbon tasting. And with with that, it's just I got to do the tastings for the group because I just have so much whiskey. I like to share it. It's no if I don't do the tastings, nobody's going to drink this. I've tasted most of everything I have, and you know that's how it's going. So the groups also, in my opinion, with the advent of Facebook, this is when you look at the bourbon boom, the real bourbon boom, it coincides with Facebook. People at first were selling whiskey on Facebook till Facebook cracked down on it, and the distilleries, everybody was cracking down because it's illegal to sell. But that was the first thing when everybody started talking and they were talking and selling and doing this and what, and then the crackdown happened, and then everybody was belonging to the groups. Everybody started doing it more legally as far as getting their barrel picks to their members and that type of thing. So it's really kind of cool, and I really think the societies have always been there. The clubs probably have tripled since the bourbon boom, and the bourbon groups, it's insane. It's across the whole world. So there's thousands upon thousands of bourbon groups. So the first thing I do if you're getting into bourbon, the first thing I do is find a bourbon group near you and start meeting people and sharing your whiskey and bourbon experiences. That's just how bourbon groups, the importance of bourbon groups coming up. Now I do believe I have 109. All right, let's see. Um Let's just see. I have the groups OHLQ. I mean, on the OHLQ website, they actually have on the website, they have a thing that was April of 18 of 20. I need to get on the website of the OHLQ Spirit Societies in Ohio, the Whiskey Girls of Erie Shores, Central Ohio Whiskey Society, Ohio Rum Society, Bourbon Women and Whiskey Women, Fisher Wine and Spirits, Proof Social Club formed by the Grand MBA, Ohio State University, Bourbon Club of North Central Ohio. So there's even the state of Ohio recognizes the importance of the bourbon clubs, and so they're huge, and they are 100% beyond behind this power whiskey comeback. And then also, as they say, the whiskey boom, it 100% is through the groups, and 100% you have to, if you haven't yet, you need to join groups. Join our group. Our group is the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. You can find that page on Facebook and also the group. But the group is vetted, and we are 2,000 strong. And when you join our group, you're probably a good chance not going to get spammed. Now, my Jeffrey Mueller, I try and vet the most as I can, but I have uh, 5,000 friends now and 52,000 53,000, 52,000 followers. So can't vet that the same way. But if anybody spams it, I see it, delete it, and block that person almost immediately. So it's a little bit different experience if you join the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. But any group that I shared to tonight and I mentioned already is a good group to join. I belong to many and we appreciate everybody who allows us to promote whiskey within their groups. That's what we do. That's what we're about. All right. So, anyways, if anybody has any questions, they're available and what you make of them. Yeah, if anybody has any questions, throw it up there on Facebook or YouTube about groups. But at the moment, uh, I am going to start this surprise bourbon bottle breakdown of the old Louisville bourbon bottle breakdown brought to you by the Old Louisville Whiskey Company in Louisville, Kentucky. Old Louisville, Amin does a great job down there. He basically books by appointment, but if you're in the Louisville area, Old Louisville Whiskey Company is a must stop. Fantastic. He doesn't sell anything under 7 years. So all of his whiskey 7 years or older, very similar to what Mark Carter does with Old Carter. So that brings us to the bourbon bottle breakdown rating system. It consists of 4 different categories. One is nose or aroma, 2 is body, 3 is taste, and 4 is finish. Each category has an assigned amount of knocks. The nose and the body can get up to 4 knocks, and the taste and the finish can get up to 5. But if you like an exceptional category exceptionally, you can add an extra to one category, but up for a total of 19 out of 18 for a perfect bourbon. So here we go with the Old Louisville Whiskey Company's barrel bottle breakdown of Russell's Reserve 15-year-old, courtesy of Walker Cyrus, who is there right now. Thank you so much, Walker. I covet this bottle. It's fantastic. It's been open for a little bit. Walker, let's just go over a little bit of a story about this. Walker, when he got this and we saw each other, probably, I would say, it was, I want to say February. Was it February? Yes, I believe so. No, not February. It was March when we did the Jack Daniels thing. We came down, I saw Walker, and he brought this bottle for me to taste, and then said that he needed it or whatever. But now that he's moving, he knows how much I love this bottle, and was very generous to let me obtain this. And I opened this, and the nose from a distance is oh my god. Now the 15 I felt when I first opened it, this is a little bit was a little bit oaky. But when I saw him the next time and Walker was brought the bottle and surprised me, it now has really opened up. So tonight I'm tasting in my Scotchy Bourbon Boys Glencairn. If anybody's interested, just contact me. I can get that for you. All right. Put a little bit in there in my Glen. We'll put that up there next to that. Now, one of the things that's great about these Glencairns is the tulip shape with the bottom. You don't have to heat up. You hold it there. You look at your whiskey. You can tell viscosity on the glass. CT loves to take it and do spinning. I am not a spinner, but well, maybe I am. Look at that. I got it go. Wow, that's the first time I think I ever got a really good spin. All right, so the nose is fantastic. And if you put the Glen on the side, you can roll it on with the right amount. You can't overfill it, but you can roll it on the actual, which coats the whole glass. Come on back here. And then when you hold it up, you can see what the legs do. This particular one is basically, oh wow, long, thick legs. It doesn't take long for that to drop in beautiful. It it's weird. It's sticking to other parts and doing some, but what it did on the inside of the glass is it's just got big, long, the full length dropping back down into the pool of sunshine as the whiskey. Um, what was I forget? Jeff Schwartz is the whiskey advocate. I think he's the whiskey advocate. Yep. He does a nice piece. He critiques bourbons and along with Michael Veach on the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. But so the viscosity on this of coating the glass tells you that it's going to have a pretty good body. Now, I've had a little bit of the Old Forester 117 series, so that's good. So this won't have a palate shock. But the nose is caramel. There's a little bit of the, I mean, what is it? There's cherry too, caramel and cherry. It's a, oh my God, is that good? Both nostrils are working tonight. That's one of the first times I've had both. There's you have a dominant nostril a lot of times, but right now it's both nostrils. And that nose is fan freaking tastic. Now the proof on this is barrel strength, but it's non-chill filtered. This was a 2024 release. Where is the proof? I don't know why I don't have any glasses tonight. I should have a pair. Nope, empty, empty. I'm trying to find out. Nope. Let's see what our proof is. 100. I want to say 117.2. All right, let's just, can I get it in some better light? Let's see. Well, I could do this. We'll do it. No, that's too far. Nope, you're not going to let me do that. All right. We won't do it. I want to say it's crazy. Come on. I usually have. That's nuts. Let's see. What about a light? Well, let's just get into some better light right here. I'm going to see. Check that out. I really 117.2. I'll go with that. It's just so dumb. Very good. It definitely has a big body. So that was it, Walker. You guys and Randy, it was 117.2. Just the wow. big caramel finish. Wow. That is delicious. Thank you, Walker. All right. There's two areas. I could give this, there's two areas of But Up. And I might pull that out because all I want to do is smell this. There's a root beer. Sometimes there's a little root beer. There's some cherry and caramel, along with a little bit of char. The perfect amount of ethanol. Like, I could smell this I could just smell this. It's right up there with my favorite thing. All right, so we're gonna go with the nose, which you can give up to 4. I'm gonna give it a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. With a But Up. 5. 5 out of 4. That nose is fantastic. The body, it goes everywhere. Cheeks, under the tongue, top of the tongue, mouth, fully. It starts off with the taste. His caramel and vanilla at the front palate, and then when you hit the back palate, you get a nice oaky char flavor. But then the great hug throughout with a nice little pepper spice. But the vanilla and the caramel and a little bit, maybe cherry in the back left-hand part of my tongue. I have to give the body a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're looking at 4, 9, whatever. Now the taste with the vanilla up front and the caramel, it's taste is 5 out of 5. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're looking at 5 out of 5 on the taste. So we're now coming to the finish. Look at the legs in that glass. It's like, God, they're just so long and drippy. You can just, right there. There it is. You can see them. All right. I'm going to give that friends share. Lord knows. The finish is caramel. And then a little bit of oak. Yeah, it's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of, so that's a 19 out of 18. That's a perfect whiskey. I was thinking I was going to give it the finish, but the finish is a 5. Fantastic, 117 proof. I think if you like a little bit of oak and char on your whiskey, a little bit of pepper spice, but you also want the flavor to come through, this is the epitome of a really well-aged bourbon. I would say compared to Pappy Van Winkle 15-year, which is fantastic, but Pappy Van Winkle doesn't have the spice, nor does it have it doesn't have the spice, and it doesn't have the little bit of the barrel and char. Usually, I love Pappy Van Winkle 15-year. I love the caramel. It's just so rich. But this is more of a whiskey, an aged whiskey lovers whiskey. This is something that I would love to smoke if you to smoke a cigar with. I will smoke a cigar with it, but this is something that you save to share with people. And thank you so much, Walker, for that perfect bottle. It was not a 19 out of 18 when you first crack it. So if anybody has this bottle, I would strongly suggest cracking it and let it sit for a while, because what happened to it over the last couple months is spectacular. So there we are on the Russell's 15. I love the Russell's 13. Actually, I'm going to put in a little bit of 13 in my glass and see what the difference is. Russell's 13, the first one was caramely. It doesn't have that dusty in there. Now, let's see what Russell's 13 does. I just love these. I was able to get this on my own, so I was very happy about that. All right, let's see. Not as there's a lot more caramel vanilla on the nose. That's like a caramel apple. Not as perfect, but that's really good. I love Russell's 13 and 15. Some of my the Russell's 13 first batch was phenomenal. But that would make sense. Both are very good. All right, guys. We are going to wrap it up for now on our audio. I am going to finish this off. People on Facebook and on YouTube, you can stick around a little bit longer. I'm going to be on I try to be on like 15 minutes afterwards, invite some people to come on with us. But so we'll end this right now. And the way that we end it is www.scotchybourbonboys.com for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys, t-shirts, Glens. Check us out. There's bios and everything. And also remember, we're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X, and also on all the major podcast audio formats of Apple, iHeart, Spotify, Deezer. I mean, wherever you listen, we're there. But remember, whether you listen or watch, make sure you like, listen, comment, like, listen, comment, subscribe, and leave good feedback. And remember, good bourbon equals good times and good friends. Remember, drink responsibly and don't drink and drive. And live your life uncut and unfiltered. Little Steve-O's going to take us out. And then on a note on that, I keep winning the melody challenge on YouTube that Little Steve-O will keep singing and taking us out. Thank you, Steve, for doing this for us. Are we there? Let's see if I can get it to go. There we go.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the together we must die.
Thank you, everybody.
Oh, show me
We're gonna,
the way
unbelievable.
to that whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask what.
I stopped it before, but that's okay. I love that song. I love that it was done by Little Steve-O. I love his version. I love how much. I love the fact that BMG music keeps challenging it, and I keep fighting it, and I keep winning. I feel like 2024, 2025, starting in November 2024 and whatever, all it is has been wins. Wins for the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, you guys. Lots of people watching. I think we're on the verge of becoming pretty big on YouTube, and hopefully all the people that watch tonight on YouTube and Facebook, you guys keep coming back. I'm going to throw out for you guys, like I always do, let me just quick audio magic this. It's so funny because when it's only me, I don't have to do much audio magic. I try and improve. All right, I got that. Let's take this one off. We're down to just two, but I like to get this microphone into its holder. You guys always get to see a little bit of the technical aspect. But let me copy and paste the tonight's thing. Here we go, guys, for joining in, because copy and paste. It's so funny. Now I got to use my keyboard. Return. There we go. There it is, guys. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in for a couple minutes. I'm waiting for the people. This is done. All right, that's done. Randy, laptop first. All right. For the people. You should. Randy's trying. You're coming in, but you got your Facebook playing there, buddy. So we got John. Hey, John. Hey, Randy.
What's up, bro?
Can you hear me, Randy? Where do you get your, where are you getting, do you get to see much of the Old Forester Presidential? Do you see that around while you're driving around? No. Walker's the one who comes up with the Presidential. I got to get one of those. Somehow I have to get one of those. I don't know, like Old Forester, up until I went down and I took the tour earlier this year when I was down there. I basically took the tour and tasted the birthday bourbon, the Presidential, and then I had the Warehouse 117. I already knew the Angel Share was good, but the Warehouse 117 was fantastic also, because there's an aspect which I know is not good for me, but I love the banana flavors of Old Forester when you get banana on it, and that is a heads kind of thing. It's all about the heads. It's a actual part of the heads that most take out, but Old Forester will leave that in for that banana flavor. It can turn into a Band-Aid, but the banana flavor is when it's done properly. And I think Brown and Foreman's got that down. What do you think, Walker?
Oh, I think they absolutely do. And I think they really transcend that sometimes, because sometimes I don't notice the banana at all on the higher proofs.
Well, I don't like the higher proofs that replace banana with frickin' pepper. If it's an Old Forester barrel picks are very, for me, are very hit and miss because of the fact of exactly that. I don't like when the pepper burns out the flavor. It's one of the offsetting things that happen. Now, that happens on a lot of the Old Forester barrel picks, but at the same time, some of them are we
That was what I was saying, is the in between. So the banana becomes very subtle, and the caramel becomes very strong.
I mean, like, it's not light, it's like a lighter dark.
Yeah, lighter darker. Yeah, I agree with you.
here
Hey,
I
Matt.
guess my man there might be fun.
Hey, guys,
What's up, Walker? How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right. I have an empty house for the most part now, but I'm doing all right.
Dude, we could send you some whiskey down if you need some.
Oh, that's not the issue.
See if I can. No permit for that?
Oh,
No.
he's moving out.
My house and I'm moving out.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I thought you moved already. I'm sorry. I'm behind on the times here.
Oh no, you're fine. My movers came on Monday. Today's Tuesday, and I have a quad whiskey because they won't take open bottles.
Oh, do you
Oh, you
need
gotta take those yourself, huh?
oh
Yep.
You can bring up beer if you want.
wait, do you need me to come down and get some of those for you?
I mean, I won't tell you no.
Walker offered, you told me no.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Randy.
It's just, Randy is funnier this way. It's not anything that
There's
I'm not being serious. It's just fun.
No, you just don't want to fight my wife.
No, that's not it at all. We haven't met in person yet, Jennifer and I.
Well,
That'll be a different time.
if Randy doesn't get a job soon, everybody that meets his wife is going to be fighting her. Because
No,
Randy's job right now is drive around the country and buy as much expensive bourbon as he possibly can.
that's not a job. That's a hobby. And I have a.
I don't know.
Job and hobby.
I don't know. I think I'm expecting him to get into tractor trailer and start buying full truckloads of it.
Just so you know, I had a tractor trailer here on Monday, and 6 crates that would normally be for overseas packing were packed for my move. So,
Well, and they took your barrel and everything, right? All your bourbon
right.
stuff. What's your new
Yeah.
place look like?
I don't know yet. I'm gonna figure that out when I get there.
Why you need to go
21
horizontal. Go horizontal, Walker.
Okay. It's harder for me when I do that, but I'll if it works better for you.
It's better for all the people out there.
Well,
Yeah, we can see you better this way.
I'm really encouraged if that's the case. There are probably about 20 boxes in this closet right now.
That's not.
So, Walker, if there's not room for your maker's bottle at your new house, let me know.
I'll make room.
There's no way.
I figured out that, right?
So are you driving? Are you driving a U-Haul, or are you taking a U-Haul, or are you a box truck?
I am taking a U-Haul now. I was hoping that I did not have to.
Yeah,
Looks like
20
I have to.
20 boxes don't fit in your car.
Oh, he's renting a trailer.
Yeah, I'm taking a trailer. I didn't think I was gonna have to.
Okay.
Because it was probably, if I had to guesstimate, about 180 bottles they wouldn't take because they were all open.
So John,
Yeah.
so the Cubs tickets. It's that we got Randy, we got Nash, me, and you. So the 4. So your brother-in-law's working on it.
Yeah, I talked to him today. He said he reached out to the guy. He's on a business trip, so he hasn't heard back yet. But it might be a good deal if you can get them for us, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And it comes with a parking pass, apparently, so that would be like bonus.
How
Who do they
close
play
are
that day?
Baltimore.
Huh.
Right? Baltimore?
Yes, the Orioles.
My daughter-in-laws would be jealous. She's from Maryland. She's an Orioles fan. What I wanted to say is, how close can we take the train in?
I mean, we've got a Metro that'll run from the Burbs downtown, but then from there, you gotta hook up with a cab. That's the only problem, or you'd have to Uber over to Wrigley, which is a pain in the ass, because we go straight downtown and Wrigley's way on the
I
north
took the
side.
bus and it stopped right in front of it.
So,
you can't get to the L, right?
it's a bit of ways from there.
Actually,
from the line that gets there.
So we were at it was funny because we used to go down there all the time, and we come in from Milwaukee on the train, and then we'd run from the train station to the L. And then on the way home, we always knew we had to catch the last train, which was to Milwaukee, which was like it would be a 1:30 game, and we'd have to be there by, I think it was a 6:30, and we were always running. we get off the L and sprint to try and make that. So
yeah, and you're full of beer and you got to piss, and that's not fun to run when your bladder's full.
That actually, you said that, one of my friends, they just went on the side of a building.
Yeah.
But
we'll figure it out, Jeff. I'm hoping to find out this week from him, so he's just waiting for him to get back to him. And
what about?
I mean, it'll either be Friday or Saturday.
What about let's all be big spenders and just take a limo?
That's a possibility.
Yeah, do a limo there and back.
I mean, it comes with parking lot too, so I mean, I don't give a shit.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's in and out for me, man. If we can.
Although, where the fuck is a parking pass in the neighborhood?
Oh, I don't know. I got to talk to them, but like they have you been there recently? I haven't been there since they've done a lot of redeveloping, but I've seen all kinds of video and pictures.
I want to say the last time I was there, Sosa was playing.
Okay, yeah, I was there last. I think the World Series year, and then I had a former.
That would be 2016.
Yeah, I had a former neighbor and student who actually pitched for the Pirates, and I worked with his and I now work with his wife. He was at my elementary school. He pitched for the Pirates. We went and saw him too.
What was his name?
What's that?
I'm a National League rotisserie baseball guy, so I probably know his name.
Yeah, it was Rob Scahill. He started with the Rockies. He was more of a career minor leaguer, but he was able to get called up to the show several times. He pitched for the Rockies. He ended up with the Cubs he ended up with the Sox for a bit too. No, sorry, Rockies, Pittsburgh, then the Sox for a little bit, and then he tried out for the Cubs spring training, and that was it. So and now he's back here by me trying to teach.
Okay.
My neighbor.
So what day is the Cubs game? What day are you guys going at?
August 1st or 2nd.
Okay.
That'll be interesting.
Be down there for a couple of days, or?
I'm gonna drive on Friday. If we go, and then I'll stay there. I'll stay till Friday night and Saturday, and then I might go up to Milwaukee on Sunday morning and see a couple people, and then drive back.
Yeah, I'd like to get out there and hit Goose Island at some point. That'd be killer. We just had a Goose Island from Larceny from 2019 on our beer night the other night. Yeah,
That's crazy.
2019 Larceny made up.
It's sweet wine too, it's not beer. It was good. I remember that one. Yeah.
It was really good. It wasn't like their stouts. It was very yellow. But yeah, it's pretty tasty.
We're probably gonna if we go to the Friday game, we would then on Saturday go to Thornton, which is a distillery out there that does Dead Drop. They do Dead Drop, and I know the master distiller there, and they do some fine. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to run those stills.
That's awesome.
And then we can always just jump like a 275-foot drop down into the quarry.
That sounds fun.
No parachute, right?
You need a parachute on that one. It's the largest limestone quarry, and in their basement, I can't wait to get back out there. They got some really cool stuff going on. It used to be Al Capone's brewery that they brewed for Al Capone during Prohibition. They brewed beer.
That's cool.
Yeah.
This is
Well, if I can
totally
make it down
selfish.
on Saturday, I'd like to join you.
This is totally selfish, but I have to ask Matt and the rest of the people on the Blue crew, love speaking as much as you do, because I've got Randy addicted now.
To what?
I didn't hear what you said. It kind of chopped up.
Well, I had some before you gave it to me, but yes, thank you.
What was it, Randy?
Sweet wheat, I like it pretty well.
You mean 1792?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, dude, sweet wheat's awesome.
Yeah, who doesn't
I got a
like
little
that?
bit of a tiny bit left there, Walker. That's all I got. Sweet wheat. Yeah.
Good stuff.
It is. It's so good.
Wait a second. Hold on. Let me see if I can get that. Is that in the way?
You know how the story how me and Matt first tried that? So I bought like a full proof and a single barrel from a guy, okay? And he overcharged me or something, and he was like, "Oh, how can I make it up to you?" He goes, "I have all kinds of open bottles. I'll give you like a couple samples of something." Okay. So I was like, "Well, I'm buying 1792 off of this guy." So I was like, "Hey, do you have an open sweet wheat?" He's like, "Yeah." So he pours me 2 little samples, and I bring it over here to Matt's house one night, and we try it, and we both look at each other like, "Oh my God, that's one of the best whiskeys that we've ever tried."
We have to get that.
Yeah, we have to get a bottle of that. And then a couple weeks later, we both had a bottle.
Oh,
Traded
brother.
a leather right for it in the parking lot behind the bar. I was like, yes.
Hey,
Before that Walker probably went for Christmas. I'm like, yes.
I have a better story. So we did a podcast. So I went down, not last year, but the year that you drove through the cornfield, Matt,
Wait, yeah.
that year.
2 weeks ago.
So I was down probably in August of that year, and I was hanging with Stacy, and Ross Cornelison came over to Scout and Scholar, okay, in Bardstown, and I got to meet him, okay. So Ross will watch the podcast from time to time, okay, and he's young and totally cool. So we did a podcast that year with him at Kentucky Bourbon right before, on the Thursday before Kentucky Bourbon Festival, and he had a bottle of sweet wheat in his office. So he pours it, and it's phenomenal. So I'm drinking sweet wheat with the guy who just made the newest batch of sweet wheat. So
that's awesome.
so then I go to him. So then that night at Bourbon in the Air, there's no Buffalo Trace there, but they had this big giant booth, and there's Ross with a bottle of 1792 sweet wheat, and nobody's going through because it's just 1792, and they don't realize that that's the master distiller of 1792. So me and Ross that night, I probably spent of the 3 hours, I probably spent about an hour and a half, and the two of us drank almost half the bottle. It was awesome.
That's a good bottle. You could do that real easily. That's
And I
awesome.
wish I'd have known you at that time, Tony, because I met you later. I think I waited that you introduced myself because I've been listening to the podcast in 2023. And honestly, when I went back in retrospect, you and I both had numbers of it 4 weeks in a row, including Bourbon in the Air, or 4 days in a row.
Yeah. So then they were just tasting it all festival long. I mean, he was there, and anytime it's just like I just walk up to Ross and go, "Give me some sweet wheat." So last year when I was there, I said the same thing when I interviewed him for a little bit of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, the thing we did from Kentucky Bourbon Festival, and I'm like, "Ross, give me some sweet wheat." And so, but this bottle was a guy I had something and I had something he wanted, and he said, I'll trade you a bottle of sweet wheat for that. And I'm just like, I'm in. So this bottle came from Brent, who's local to Canton. So I was able to trade for this one. So I've had this ever since.
Matt is my only bottle. So I'm gonna look to get some more next year.
That'd be killer. Let me know if you do, because I need to pick up another one. Then I can finish mine.
Well, maybe
We do it
coming.
in small increments, so that way I have it. And that way, if I ever want to go back to it, I can go back to it.
Matt, I'll look for you here too, man. We get 1792 quite often, so if I see one, I'll add that to your lucky 7.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No worries, man.
So,
Man, I thought about that. You told me you wanted one of these. Do you not need it?
Which one?
I've got 3 sweet ones here. Last time we talked, you said you wanted one.
Yes, absolutely. I will buy that too.
You need one from me and one from John?
Absolutely. Dude, we go through those so quickly. That's one of the easiest pours. Yeah, definitely. I will get it from you at Kentucky Bourbon Festival.
Well,
Dude.
get it at the baseball game.
That's true. If I make it up there that weekend, that would be killer. Or if you guys want to stop by here on your way there or back, if I'm not able to make
No,
it.
what I'll do is I'll take it and get it to Tiny, and he can get it to you.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Matt, I'll probably do that too with Jeff. It'll be August, but I can get you that lucky 7 too when Jeff comes in.
well, I've got that bottle for you, Matt, that I'll be bringing that for ACDC when I come up there that day. I've got that bottle that Randy sent me with up here. Plus, I still have this for you from Stacy.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, yeah.
Those are cool.
That's in the hat.
I've got mine.
That's really cool.
And Jeff, I haven't
That's
opened
really
my bottle and bond from Ross from Kentucky Bourbon Festival, so I'm gonna have to open that. And of course, I'll.
Was that this year's pick?
Yeah.
God, that was so good. I was so mad I didn't buy that.
Oh, really?
All
right, I'll send you some.
I was mad as hell I didn't buy that pick because I tasted that pick 3-4 times and I'm just like, it was sold out by the time I got a taste of it. And I'm like, damn.
Well, now we gotta save you something. So that's not a hard thing. We can work that out.
I don't have to worry about this year though.
Hey, Walker,
Yes,
are you familiar with what's that? Maker's Mark just released the Star Hill Farm.
Yeah.
Wheat whiskey.
I saw that. That's distillery release only.
Yeah, it hit here last week, and I was unable to grab one. It's supposed to become a shelfer, I guess, but I'm hoping there's another drop coming.
There's no way that can be a shelfer. They use their own grown farm wheat. Like it's right grown on the farm. It's limited.
So the wheat and whiskey is different. I am a fan, but it's not something that I really sought after.
Yeah.
I would say it's very, very different than their normal stuff, which is what they would probably agree to.
Did you yeah, because that's the all Maker's Mark is the same mash bill ever. It's just aged different. There's like nothing different. This cast some drop in some staves, but it's all the same juice, but the actually a completely different whiskey for like the only thing they've ever done different.
Yeah, they're using red winter wheat and malted
Tiny,
red
do
winter wheat.
you see my eyes?
What about them?
I don't care. I have over 60 bottles.
You don't care about what?
It being no different, because it's definitely different from a couple of years and other things.
No, but I'm saying this is their first ever different whiskey they ever put out, and it's basically from their own farm.
It's their first non-bourbon.
Did you not limp across that day on their farm? I mean, they showed it to you. Including, I think I had crutches at the
time.
Do you think we'll be able to see their forest once it grows?
Yes.
I don't know. I might be dead. I don't think
You'll see the saplings, Tiny.
I saw the saplings. I mean, I saw the little things in their forest, but I don't know if I'm going to see the trees.
Still a forest, still trees.
No, it's got to be a forest. You can't see through it.
So has anyone tried the new bakery yet?
No.
Yes.
When did you try it?
I tried it about 4 days ago with Tracy and her friends. Let's see, not Bardstown, but near Bardstown.
Tracy Johnson?
Yeah, Monday night. Tuesday night, the time that he was off with her when he got his barrel.
You remember? It would have been Thursday, probably.
Yeah. How did you try it? Who had it?
Tracy Johnson.
No, one of her friends. I can't remember his name right this second.
No.
John. But Tracy's got it too, because she had it up for sale today.
Well, her husband is John, another friend for another friend.
What was she selling it for?
$250.
No, I didn't bring it.
What is the MSRP?
No.
It was $100 here, so with tax it was 110 out the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
That song was 93, I thought, in Atlanta.
All right, guys. If you guys are going to hang, yeah, I saw it too. But if you guys are going to hang, do you want who wants the
Who wants control?
the moderator?
Doesn't matter.
Randy, you close the dollfish. Right, Randy, you got this.
Okay, whatever. Make sure you go to bed on time.
All right, I got to give over
my.
my.
Days to work and I'm off for 11. So Jeff, you're going to be over next Wednesday. Are you still coming at noon? Are we doing it live or what?
Yeah, I should be coming. I got off all whatever. I got to find somebody to go with me though. Hey Walker, when are you leaving?
I would have left.
I'll
But I'm not
leave.
really a big
Let's see.
AC/DC guy.
I know.
Today's the 20th. I'll leave on the 29th.
Ooh, you want to go to AC/DC on the 28th? My treat of the ticket.
No, I got to pack a trailer on the 28th.
All
I
right.
mean, you could come to my house on the 28th, though.
Yeah, you could pack the trailer on the 27th and just drive up here.
Then I have to pay for an extra day.
Yeah, but for free.
Jeff will pay for it.
What is it? $60 a day?
More than that, brother. I'll have to check.
Ooh, Wilderness Trail meeting.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah,
going a long way.
I'm killing this one.
That bottom.
Look at this bottle, folks.
Ooh,
That
that's
is
fancy.
a pink seat.
Oh, you dog. I know that one's good.
Walker,
Hopefully I'll get-
Walter is good to me.
Yes, I was there.
Stuff like that, like,
It's just like here.
I don't know, like.
It's hard to believe that it'll be better than that one in your shelf.
Which one? Let me see. Which one is it?
The spring 2024
Derby
Club.
2025.
Okay.
It's not like this is an available bottle to most people.
No, that black label behind you is heaven.
You mean this one, 2024? Let's see if I can pull that out without fucking anything up. I did not. Look at that, baby.
That
Ooh, that's fancy.
incredible.
Jeff never pulls that out when I'm at his house.
The last time you were at my house, I didn't have it.
Oh, okay, okay.
So just to be clear, if you're comparing it to something, the closest I can compare it to is the blanket free from the barrel. It's like a cookie, like a snickerdoodle cookie. It's incredible.
Ooh,
That sounds good.
that sounds awesome.
I'm telling you,
So my buddies. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no. Your buddy's what?
Buddies just did the barrel pick that we just did the video on yesterday. You have to try this when you come up. I have a Green River pick that tastes like cream soda.
Oh.
It's like the most ridiculous thing. It's a profile from anything I've ever had from them, and I think we're on our 7th proof single barrel from them. I don't understand. This one's so different. They only got 101 bottles out of the barrel, got the whole barrel, and let me just tell you, this
Who
thing
got
is like
it?
freaking a cream.
Who did the
Broken
barrel
barrel
pick?
junkie.
Okay.
My buddy Colton and Jay.
Yeah. So I got a pick at the distillery that Aaron sent to me. It's called Cherry Jubilee, and it's like just drinking a bunch of cherries. I mean, so what it is that Green River purchased Ozzie Tyler, okay, and all their stock, and they were failing because they tried to do that rapid aging Rosie from the Jetsons thing where they would shake the whiskey with little wood. They put them in separate barrels and shake it with the wood additives in, oak additives. So they were trying to do the rapid aging and they couldn't. And when they did the rapid aging, they couldn't, it just didn't taste great. Okay. And they were putting it out too early and everything, but they were distilling stock, but they couldn't overcome it. So then when Green River bought it, they have this stock. And we went and saw Aaron 2 years ago before the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. Me, Nash, CT, Roxy, and we're down there and we were tasting through the barrels. And the barrels that they had done were freaking fantastic. So they have a ton of single barrels that have so much flavor. Plus, then Aaron's running the distillery now, and they're distilling and putting stuff back. But they had the whole stock, and Aaron was like a kid in a candy store. That man knows good whiskey.
Yeah, because all their Ohio picks were like really good. This one was so off profile, I had no idea. We smelled it, and I'm like, this is a little different. And once we tasted it, I'm like, this is the most crazy thing I've ever had. We just did a Dragon Smoke video too that tasted like iced tea, and it was the most ridiculous bottle I've ever had from them too. And I'm like, this is nuts. Like, I don't understand. I feel like they're finding all the like crazy honey barrels and they're coming out.
Well, I'll tell you that what they're doing is completely 100%. What Green River's doing, what everybody's doing is they've got it down. They know what they're doing, and the aging in the United States, the aging in the Midwest, and then down into Kentucky, with the warmer temperatures has been spectacular for aging the whiskey. I mean, 100% that Buffalo Trace rapid ages their shit, right? You understand that. They don't say they rapid age it. They don't say anything about it. But when you have a 6-7 year Buffalo Trace, right? It's based off of them in the wintertime heating and cooling their warehouses. They use steam heat. But they won't sit there and go, it's rapid aging. This 4-year tastes like a 7-year. No, they just say Pappy Van Winkle at 15. This is what it tastes like, right? But Pappy Van Winkle at 15, if you talked about that rapid aging, would be like 22.
Right.
Old Forester is pretty transparent that they heat their warehouses.
Green River has 3 different types of warehouses too. They have a metal one, they have a wooden one, and they have one that has ceramic tiles in it or something.
Yeah.
And the ceramic tile one pulls in more heat than the rest. And if you pick the barrels at the very top, you get the least amount of bottles out of the barrels, but you get the most amount of taste out of them, and it's so different. It came through almost like a pot still type of taste when I got it. And I'm like, this is weird.
Well,
But it was just all the way through cream soda and just a little heat. I'm like, this is good.
Well, the warehouses on location are nothing compared to the warehouses spread out Owensboro. I mean, they have. He said they've been just like they said, just like Bardstown Bourbon Company. They're building warehouses all over Owensboro. He's running full out over there for Green River.
I gotta get the Green River. They invited me on that pick too, but I'm never around when they do their picks. Like Middle West, I missed that one. I missed the Green River one. At some point, I'll get to some of their picks. 'cause
Well, you
they
do
let me
have a
know
life.
Their picks for them. I know.
We-
I'm like busy all the time.
It'll be fun. I got like three more years, and once I'm out, I'm going on 50 barrel picks the first year.
Make sure I'm on your team. I'm with you.
I missed at least 2 barrel picks since I've been here because I got invited on an Old Forester pick with Blackjack Liquors, and I got invited on an Angel's Envy pick with John O's since I've been here, and it's just because they chose them during the week, and my job is such that I can't get off in the same week if they tell me that week.
All right, guys, I'm gonna.
Andy, that would have been good enough.
Let's see if I can do this. View. All right, I'm gonna end Facebook. All right, everybody on Facebook. The content of
Jeff,
this.
you have to let me know when you're on your way coming up because I'll be waking up. What? This is really good. I know this is that.
All
we
right.
have a plethora of larcenies over here. So we had the 7-year that came to Ohio. Nobody got the 8-year that I know of. We got the 6-year over here, and then we just picked up 8125.
What? They have larceny dumping today?
Larceny was out today. I don't know.